And welcome back. Today we are launching America Block by Block. It's an ongoing look at the coalitions reshaping politics in this country. NBC's Steve Kornacki is going to explore how communities all over America are realigning, whether these shifts will become permanent, and what it all means for politics. And we're kicking it off today with a look at battleground Wisconsin. NBC News national political correspondent Steve Kornacki joining us now from the big board. So, Steve, Wisconsin was one of the key battleground states we know in the 2024 election. It's about to be back in the national spotlight with an upcoming Supreme Court election there. Walk us through what's happening and what we're learning as voters head to the polls there in a few weeks.
Yeah, one of the things we're going to be looking for in that state Supreme Court race is what did change? Did anything change from 2024 when Donald Trump very narrowly carried Wisconsin? Remember, Wisconsin was the narrowest of all the battleground states in 2024. And while it was a flip for Trump, he lost it in 20, he won it in 24. There's a very small shift when you look at it. Trump had lost this state. This was a Democratic state, you could see here, by 0.6 of a point in 2020, 0.6 of a point, and Trump won it by 0.9 of a point. So the swing in this state was only 1.5 points. A lot of Wisconsin didn't really budge, but some places in Wisconsin did. And those are the places to look closely at in this election coming up in a few weeks. Let's take you through a couple of them. First, here, you talk about Wisconsin. You probably know about the WOW counties, Waukesha, Ozaukee, Washington. These are the big suburban counties right outside of Milwaukee, which would be right there. Now, the WOW counties are all still Republican counties. Trump did carry them by double-digit margins last year, but the Republican margins have been diminishing since Donald Trump came along the scene, pretty dramatically, in fact. These three counties were three of the only four in Wisconsin that actually moved away from Republicans last November. And they all have something in common. Demographically, it's what we talk about, where the Democrats nationally have been doing better and better. They've been doing better, Democrats have, in suburbs, with large populations of white voters with college degrees, higher incomes, too. That interacts there. Those are the voters nationally and in these WOW counties that have been moving more and more away from the Republicans. In fact, if you zoomed in on Ozaukee County, we took a look at this one, and you found the precinct in Ozaukee that moved the most dramatically toward the Democrats in 2024. There's a precinct that moved 15 points toward the Democrats last November. That precinct is about 90% white. About 92% of the adults in that precinct have at least a four-year degree. 1/3 of the adults in that precinct have not just a four-year degree, but a graduate degree. And the average income in that precinct is $212,000. Wealthy, educated, white. That was the biggest Democratic gain in Ozaukee. Again, that's the Democratic growth. Take a look here. The Driftless region. What the heck is the Driftless region? Well, this is where the biggest source of Republican growth is in Wisconsin, along the Mississippi River here, a little bit interior of there. This is a unique culturally and topographical area in Wisconsin. But the key here is this area was blue very recently. Barack Obama won almost all of these counties in 2012, most of them by double digits. And now this is just basically a sea of red in here. And in 2024, Trump was making gains here, of 4, 5, 6 points, which is a lot when you compare it to how little the state moved as a whole. So traditionally, modern times, Democratic, big movement towards Trump here. And the question is, in this race coming up April 1st and longer term, without Trump on the ballot, does that momentum continue for Republicans, or can Democrats win back some of their traditional advantage here that, again, right through Obama, they still had that advantage? And then the wild card here in Wisconsin, and again, you know this story nationally, Latino voters moving toward Trump away from Democrats last year. We saw it in Wisconsin. Wisconsin does not have a large Latino population, but where there is a significant one is these precincts right here. These are inside the city of Milwaukee. You see that sort of jigsaw-like shape there. This is inside Milwaukee, which is part of Milwaukee County. Here's how you take a look at this. Milwaukee County itself, the city of Milwaukee and the suburbs, it moved 1 point towards the Republicans, 1 point towards Trump last November. But these precincts, which cumulatively are 3/4 Hispanic, they moved 10 points towards Trump and the Republicans. So again, question there, as we say nationally, is it a Trump-specific phenomenon, or is that something Republicans can build on there? These are not huge movements, but in the context of a state that barely moves, they're very significant.
All right, Steve Kornacki for us today. Steve, thank you.
Got it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.